Welcome to week 4 Pickems. Before we get into it, I just want to say, one, I know this video is late. I've just been a little bit busy. Sorry about that. I just got off work, so I'm really tired. I'm by myself here today, so it's just going to be very quick. Probably the quickest Pickems video I've ever done. 2, the mod applications for the VDL are now open. I'm looking to really expand the VDL for Season 3, so if you're interested in becoming a mod, I will have that linked in the description, along with the Discord if you're not already in it. And 3, if you think I missed Ramperdos' and Starry's game, I did not. This was just something I did not include because it was already played at the time of recording this, so there was just really not a point in me including it. So yeah, if you enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Peace. So our first matchup is mono water versus mono ground, and by the matchup alone, it is looking very unfortunate for mono ground. The one thing holding the whole team together is Gastrodon. Gastrodon with Storm Drain is very good, especially because Sand's team doesn't have really good grass coverage. There might be like 1 or 2 things that gets like grass knot. I really didn't look, so that's like the only way to break through Gastrodon. Cloudsire's also there with water absorb, but it is weak to ice moves that I'm pretty sure every single one of Sand's Pokemon have, besides Pyukumuku and Walking Lake. So I can still see Clodsire being useful, just not as good as Gastrodon. I think Chocolate's going to have to bring Sandstorm just to stop Rain, because Rain is going to just boost the power so much more, as if the water moves aren't going to be hitting strong enough already. I also see Suicune being very good, like a rest calm mindset with like water move plus ice beam. I really don't see how that's stopped, because it can't really be toxic since it has rest. I see that like just being a very hard thing for Chocolate's team to break through, but I can see this going either way. It really just depends on how long that Gastrodon can stay alive. If the Gastrodon goes very early, I think that Sand can win, but if Chocolate can preserve the Gastrodon, I think that he can become victorious on this matchup. Next up is Fire versus Grass. This is another one that's just very unfortunate. Grass doesn't have the best ways to stop this. Ogerpon being part water type is good, but it's going to get overwhelmed very quickly, and the only thing I really see it doing, and this is bad as it sounds, it's just going to prevent Wolf from getting 6-0'd, but it's going to, like I said, it's going to get overwhelmed, especially like with Mega Houndoom in the sun, or even Ogerpon in the sun. It's so powerful, and then Mega Venusaur doesn't even really resist the fire moves due to sun, but especially from Ogerpon because it has Mold Breaker. So it's very unfortunate for Wolf. But yeah, I'm gonna give this one to that one guy. There wasn't really too much to say about this one. Our third matchup is Ice versus Poison, and this is the first one that doesn't have a distinct type advantage, but honestly I can see it going either way. On Ice's side, it has Arctozolt, which has a great dual stab combination in electric and ice, which is unresisted on Derp's side of the field. As well, if Cloyster gets a Shell Smash off, I don't really know what takes anything on Derp's side. Maybe like a FizzDev Toxapex can take one drill run, but I think it's going to be very difficult to handle. But on Derp's side, Toxic Spike looked really good because Agar doesn't have a grounded poison type, or doesn't have a poison type at all. So nothing absorbs that, so it would be reliant on like Articuno to defog or Avalugg to rapid spin. Iron Moth also looks really good, especially with the booster energy in speed. It can afford the speed one since it has Fiery Dance, and that's a 50% chance to raise its special attack, and it's going to be mainly clicking that. We'll have to be cautious of the Baxcalibur, because I'm pretty sure Thermal Expansion, if it gets hit with a fire move, its attack goes up, or maybe it's just Will-O-Wisp. I'm not 100% sure, but I see this going either way. It's just if Derp can save the Iron Moth till late game, that's going to be like the main decider. I looked at this matchup for longer than I wish to admit, and I could only come up with like one idea, maybe 2 ideas that can work for Tom to win this matchup, because this is just a horrible matchup. The first thing is maybe like a Focus Sash Sneasler with Swords Dance, or maybe like an Endure with an attack boosting berry, because that's like more reliable in case the Focus Sash gets broken, and then try to sweep with Unburden, or maybe just Scarf everything, just, you know, see how that does. But I don't know how that's gonna go. Toad is just gonna win. Like, Toad has this game in the bag. It's over. The best piece of advice, though, I can give you, Tom, is don't bring Iron Hands. It does not need to die again. All right, we have Steel versus Fairy, and I'm really excited for this matchup this week. And I want to start this by saying, Regwin, if you are watching this, please, when you're battling, try to switch around. That's just something I've noticed watching the other 3 games, is you really don't switch around too much. much, and it's costing you games, in my opinion. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there. With that, this isn't as one-sided as it looked off the bat, because Iron Valiant is amazing in this matchup, especially if Corviknight can get weakened to a point that it can get taken out by whether it's a physical set with close combat or a special set with Thunderbolt. Enamorus has both Earth Power and Mystical Fire, same with Diancie, and then Primarina just has a neutral matchup since it's a part water type. It's also pretty bulky, so I see it doing some decent work this week. On the other side, I think again Corviknight is going to be a huge bring just to stop the Iron Valiant. And then Bronzong with Levitate also looks really good because it makes the Enamorus and Diancie have to use Mystical Fire, which isn't the most like powerful move, and then Heatran would also resist that. Heatran with an Air Balloon also looks really good because it can like play around. The fairy types aren't going to really want to be clicking like Moonblast and stuff, so it would be immune to both the fire and ground moves with an Air Balloon. So I think that could be decent, but I see this game going to Ursul. But if the Iron Valiant is played correctly, Regwin can win this game. The first thing I notice when I look at this matchup is how good the Dark and Flying types are. Iron Jugulus and Mandibuzz are just very good, either defensive on Mandibuzz's side or offensively on Iron Jugulus' side. The only thing to watch out for is Mimikyu, but Celesteela does a great job of walling that. So I think that Flying has a good advantage here, especially because if you look at the speed tiers, pretty much all the way down until about, little under or a little over halfway, it has the advantage for the speed tiers, which is great. But on the ghost side, I also think that either Spectrier or Blacephalon can snowball very quickly out of control with, whether it be Shadow Ball or if the Spectrier is using Draining Kiss or something like that. The Poltergeist can also Shell Smash here pretty easily on something that's not the Iron Jugulus or the Mandibuzz. So I can see either side taking this game. It's just going to be dependent on how the Iron Jugulus is played, if it's, saved until late game, and then same thing with the Mimikyu on the other side. Alright, and the last matchup is myself versus Magnanime. This is a very scary matchup for my side, in my opinion. Mega Lopunny is incredible. It cannot be intimidated by Incineroar or Hisuian Quillfish, and it can also hit Sableye with its normal and fighting moves. So I don't know how I'm supposed to handle that. I'm gonna have to try to maybe rely on hazards so that it cannot switch in and out, but Cyclizar can remove them fairly easily, so it's gonna be very difficult. Porygon Z is also a huge threat as always, but the one saving grace I have is it does not learn any fairy or fighting moves to change its type into. If it wanted to change into a type that to get stab on a move to be super effective, it would have to be Bug, which I don't think they're gonna want to do. So I'm intrigued to see if that set comes, but I just don't see how I break through Ursaluna, Beware, Porygon Z, Mega Lopunny, Cyclizar, Grafai or something like that. It's gonna be really rough. I honestly think that Normal can win this one, and will probably win this one. And I don't like to go against, vote against myself, but this is just gonna be the hard one. They just have a really good team. All right, that concludes the week 4 Pickems. If you want to host the next Pickems with me, let me know in the comments or message me on Discord. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys all later. Peace.